India just became the fourth nation to successfully land a spacecraft on the moon. Michio Kaku, one of the most recognized voices in theoretical physics, has been a staunch advocate for space exploration, frequently marveling at humanity's relentless curiosity about the cosmos. But recent developments surrounding Chandrayaan-3, India's historic lunar mission, have left even Kaku, the ever-optimistic physicist, visibly shaken. What exactly did Chandrayaan-3 uncover on the moon that has left the scientific community scrambling for answers and left Kaku in a state of alarm? To understand the weight of these discoveries, let's first examine what Chandrayaan-3 represents. Launched by the Indian Space Research Organization ISRO, Chandrayaan-3 is a mission aimed at further solidifying India's presence in space exploration. This mission was a follow-up to Chandrayaan-2, which had failed to achieve a soft landing on the moon in 2019. But this time, ISRO succeeded, making history by landing on the lunar South Pole, an area of the moon that had remained largely unexplored by other nations. The Chandrayaan-3 mission marked humanity's first close-up exploration of the South Pole, a region long thought to be crucial for understanding the moon's resources and its potential for supporting future human colonies. Initial results from Chandrayaan-3 were exactly what scientists had hoped for. Data confirmed the presence of frozen water, a resource that could revolutionize our ability to survive on the moon. Beyond water, it also found minerals like magnesium and silicon, vital elements for constructing lunar habitats. But then things took a much darker turn. The first indication that something extraordinary was happening came when the Vikram lander and the Pragyan rover, equipped with cutting-edge instruments, began analyzing the regolith, the fine, dusty layer of soil covering the moon's surface. Initially, the rover sent back images of a terrain that appeared barren and lifeless. But when Pragyan started using its onboard spectrometers to analyze the soil's composition, it stumbled upon something utterly baffling. There were trace amounts of a material that didn't match anything previously cataloged, not just on the moon but anywhere on Earth or in our solar system. This unknown material exhibited properties that defied explanation. It seemed to absorb energy in a way no known material could, behaving almost like a sponge for electromagnetic radiation. Kaku described this finding as both groundbreaking and terrifying. Why? Because if such a material exists naturally, it challenges our understanding of basic physics, and if it doesn't exist naturally, it begs the question, who or what placed it there? Adding fuel to the fire was the discovery of anomalous heat signatures emanating from beneath the lunar South Pole surface. The heat signatures were puzzling because they seemed to fluctuate as if reacting to external stimuli. The initial theory suggested that these could be due to subsurface magma activity. But the moon is geologically dead. There hasn't been volcanic activity there for billions of years. What then could be causing these emissions? This discovery aligns eerily with long-standing theories about the moon's south pole being a possible site for alien artifacts or structures. For decades, conspiracy theories have swirled around the idea that extraterrestrial civilizations might have used the moon as a base for observation or even experimentation. Michio Kaku, despite his skepticism toward most conspiracy theories, has now expressed concern that such possibilities can no longer be dismissed outright. The implications are far more complex than we've ever considered. But the real shock came weeks later when ISRO released preliminary data from an experiment conducted by Chandrayaan-3 that went largely unnoticed at first. Using ground-penetrating radar, the Pragyan rover detected what appeared to be a massive, cavernous void beneath the surface of the South Pole. And within this void, the radar picked up structures, geometric shapes, that could not have been formed by natural geological processes. Kaku panicked when he was shown the preliminary diagrams of these formations. According to the data, the structures appeared to be metallic and arranged in a grid-like pattern, resembling the framework of a constructed facility. This wasn't some haphazard scattering of rocks. It was organized, deliberate, and seemingly ancient. But here's where things get even stranger. The dimensions of the void suggested that it was large enough to house a small city. This revelation has triggered a flurry of speculation. Could these be the remnants of an advanced extraterrestrial civilization, or are we looking at something even more unsettling? An artifact of human origin, perhaps from a forgotten chapter of Earth's history? These theories are not as far-fetched as they might seem. In recent years, scientists have begun to entertain the possibility that intelligent life might have existed on Earth millions of years ago, only to be wiped out by cataclysmic events. Could some of these ancient humans or their artifacts have made it to the moon? Meanwhile, other scientists are focusing on the potential dangers of the discovery. If the structures are indeed extraterrestrial, there's the risk that disturbing them could provoke an unintended response. What if the heat signatures detected earlier are part of a still active system designed to react to intrusions? Kaku, known for his cautious optimism about humanity's ventures into space, has now warned that we need to proceed with extreme care. He's called for an international coalition of scientists and policymakers to examine the findings before any further missions are sent to the South Pole. Adding another layer of complexity is the strange behavior of the Chandrayaan-3 rover itself. Following the initial scans of the underground void, Pragyan experienced what ISRO described as unexplained technical malfunctions. The rover's instruments started sending back garbled data, and its movements became erratic. While ISRO attributed these issues to mechanical failure, others aren't so sure. Could the malfunctions have been triggered by an interaction with the anomalous material or the underground structures? Kaku has emphasized the importance of transparency in addressing these questions. While much of this is baseless conjecture, it reflects a growing public awareness that something extraordinary, and possibly terrifying, is unfolding on the moon. What's perhaps most unsettling is how little we still understand about the moon. Despite decades of exploration, for all the missions we've launched and all the samples we've collected, the moon remains a world of mysteries. And now, with Chandrayaan-3's discoveries, those mysteries have only deepened. As Kaku put it, the more we learn, the less we seem to know. The question now is, what happens next? ISRO has announced plans for follow-up missions to the lunar South Pole, but these are years away. In the meantime, other nations are eyeing the region with renewed interest. NASA's Artemis program, for example, aims to establish a permanent lunar base near the South Pole within the next decade. Will these future missions uncover more of the moon's secrets, or will they confirm our worst fears? Kaku's panic isn't just about the discoveries themselves. It's about the implications for humanity. If we're not alone in the universe, as these findings increasingly suggest, then everything changes. Our understanding of our place in the cosmos, our scientific priorities, and even our geopolitical strategies will need to be reevaluated. As Kaku warned, the moon may not be the barren wasteland we thought it was. And if that's true, we need to start asking some very big questions we might not be ready to answer. As we await further updates from ISRO and other space agencies, one thing is clear. Chandrayaan-3 has opened a Pandora's box of possibilities. Whether those possibilities represent hope or danger remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. Our exploration of the moon has only just begun, and it's already reshaping our understanding of the universe. The revelations from Chandrayaan-3 have sent shockwaves across the scientific community and beyond. While the world grapples with the startling implications of these findings, let's dive deeper into the broader context of what this means for humanity and our exploration of the moon. First, it's essential to consider why the moon's South Pole has been a target of such intense scrutiny. The South Pole isn't just another region of lunar terrain. It's a treasure trove of resources and mysteries. With its permanently shadowed craters, this region holds vast quantities of frozen water ice. Scientists believe these ice deposits are relics from the early days of the solar system, making them invaluable not only for sustaining future lunar bases, but also for unraveling the history of our cosmic neighborhood. Could the moon, at some point in its distant past, have supported primitive life forms? And if not, why does this source exist in such abundance on a world that lacks the conditions for life as we know it? The presence of water ice is already groundbreaking, but it pales in comparison to the other discoveries made by Chandrayaan-3. The unknown material found in the regolith, for instance, has the potential to rewrite our understanding of chemistry and material science. If this substance is indeed capable of absorbing and manipulating electromagnetic radiation, its applications could be revolutionary. Imagine materials that could render objects invisible, enable energy storage at unprecedented scales, or even facilitate the creation of advanced propulsion systems for spacecraft. But with such potential also comes risk. As Kaku has pointed out, understanding this material fully will require caution. Any misuse or misinterpretation could have unintended consequences, particularly if its origins remain unknown. The geometric structures detected beneath the lunar surface are another matter entirely. The idea of constructed facilities on the moon is not as far-fetched as it might initially sound. Over the decades, various whistleblowers and conspiracy theorists have claimed that the moon has been a site of extraterrestrial activity, with some even suggesting that humanity's first steps on the lunar surface were observed by alien entities. While such claims have often been dismissed as pseudoscience, the data from Chandrayaan-3 lends new weight to these theories. If these structures are indeed artificial, they could represent one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in history. But their implications are far-reaching. Who built them? When? Why? To understand the scale of these questions, it's helpful to consider some of the theories that have been proposed. One possibility is that these structures were created by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization that used the moon as a base for observation or resource extraction. The moon's proximity to Earth makes it an ideal vantage point for monitoring our planet, and its lack of atmosphere ensures that any structures built there could remain preserved for millions or even billions of years. If this theory is correct, it raises the unsettling possibility that humanity has been under observation for much of its existence. But for what purpose? Are we part of some grand experiment, or merely a curiosity for beings far beyond our comprehension? Another theory is that the structures could be the remnants of an ancient human civilization that achieved a level of technological sophistication far beyond what we currently understand. This idea aligns with the hypothesis that intelligent life may have existed on Earth long before the rise of our current civilization. Cataclysmic events, such as asteroid impacts, supervolcanoes, or global climate shifts, could have wiped out these ancient societies, leaving behind little more than tantalizing traces. If these early humans managed to reach the moon, it would suggest that our species' potential for exploration and innovation is far greater than we've ever imagined. But there's also a darker possibility, one that has caused Kaku and other scientists to express alarm. What if the structures are still active? The fluctuating heat signatures detected by Chandrayaan-3 suggest that something beneath the lunar surface is generating energy. If this energy is being produced deliberately, it could mean that the structures are part of a still functional system. And if that's the case, we must ask, what is the system's purpose? Is it a beacon sending signals into the cosmos?